So when dealing with an opponent who has a tight underhook from half guard, I want to try to walk this guy flat first. The first thing we're going to look at, I'm going to walk my left hand deep all the way to Max's shoulder blade here, and I'm going to put my chest on his chest to run his shoulders to the floor. I'm going to post my right hand, and I'm going to figure 4 my legs to trap Max and keep him nice and flat here. The first thing that I want to do is set a nice cross face. So I'm going to take my left hand, and what I like to do here is put my left fingertips underneath my partner's lat, kind of by his armpit. And what I'm going to start to do is pull my left elbow to my hip. And what this does is allows me to run my cross face pressure and actually turn Max's chin towards the camera here. Not only am I engaging my crossface, again, by pulling my elbow to my hip and rolling my shoulder, I'm also sliding my head down Max's shoulder line this way. How you feel here, Max?
Great.
I put a lot of pressure, and in fact, sometimes you can get some nice little pressure taps from here. Once I have my pressure and I run my head down the shoulder line, I sort of kill his underhook. If my head's down here like this and Max throws an underhook, he can off-balance me and obviously start to look to my back. So when I run my head down, it just kills that underhook. Go ahead and throw the underhook, and I can stay much tighter. Now, I'm going to start walking my hips towards Max's center line, and what I want to do is point his knees away from me. So I open my right foot, and watch how I walk, and now I'm going to slide my left knee up underneath Max's hip. What this allows me to do is run my pressure up underneath his chin. So now I walk up, I put even more pressure on Max. My right hand is going to draw back like a gun, and I'm going to open the web of my hand and press on his thigh, and I'm going to press my right knee heavy into mount, okay? Now, you see my foot is still caught here. If Max was just like weak here and had no base, yeah, I'd just take my foot free and I mount. Sometimes guys will have a good bite on your leg though. What I like to do in this case is take my right hand, scoop the head, and set my cross face on the other side. As I drop my head down this shoulder line, now my foot comes free. Easy, again, just because I put so much pressure on my partner. Okay, so from the other side, remember my partner has a good underhook here. In a perfect world, I walk him flat and I figure 4 my legs, and I'm able to just pummel inside and take the underhook away. But Max is really diligent with his underhook here. So the first thing I do, figure 4 my legs, and I reach my left hand deep underneath his armpit. Now I pull this left elbow tight to my hip, 1, and I roll my shoulder as I roll my head down the shoulder line, puts all the pressure on Max. Now I'm going to start to open my feet, walk to the center line, and watch my left leg. It cuts underneath Max's hip. What this allows me to do is run my pressure up and press. Now I can push the knee and slide my right knee into mount. From here, Max has tight feet. I just switch my hand, make a nice cross face on the other side, roll my shoulder, and I take my foot nice and free into mount, okay? What this does is puts Max at a point where he has a decision to make, okay? And you'll see this happen a lot, and what we're gonna do here is lose an inch to gain a mile, okay? So when I walk Max flat, remember, he has his underhook tight. I'm gonna set my cross face, open, and I start advancing. But this time when I advance, what does Max do? What anybody in jiu-jitsu is gonna do. As I push the knee, look what he does. He starts to elbow escape to put me back in half guard. But notice what happened to his underhook. It gets disconnected from me. So a minute ago, he was here. Keep your underhook tight, Max. And even from mount, I can't pummel this to the inside. So I need to switch my cross face. But right now, he starts to push. And look what I do. I take the underhook, I figure 4 my legs again. So now I'm chest to chest with an underhook, and we start going into high tripod passes. I keep my hands locked, I open my elbows, and I set my shoulder down and back. From here, my head goes to the floor, I start running my hips up, and I walk to my left. Now I point my right knee down to the floor, I start to step, kick my foot free, and as my foot drops, I sit my butt back and down. From here, I'm going to run back to Max's hips, and I finish passed into side control, chest to chest, and I have inside position on an underhook. So again, what I really like about this pass is it puts Max at a decision point. He has to decide. Either he gives me mount or he gives me the underhook. Either way, I'm happy. I either get mount or I get chest to chest with an underhook. Here, As I set my cross face nice, I open, I run up my pressure. I push, drop my knee heavy. Some guys make a mistake here and do this. If my knee's not heavy, there's no reason for him to elbow escape. When my knee gets heavy to the floor, now he has to push. When he pushes, I take his underhook. I lock my feet and I lock my hands. I open my elbows and we're gonna start to high tripod. My head goes to the floor, I run everything up, and now I start sliding my right knee through the gap. With my right knee to the floor, I'm gonna rotate you here, Max. With my right knee to the floor, I'm gonna use my left foot to kick and free my foot. As soon as I get my foot down, I drop and sit my butt low. Now I'm gonna walk everything back to Max's hips, and I finish in top side control, again, with a cross face and the underhook. So this is one of my favorite ways that we can pass half guard using our cross face without the underhook. Guys, if you want more details on that high tripod pass I referenced, you can look at our video right here. If you want our full jiu-jitsu curriculum, you can go to coreprobjj.com right here.